Hi, my name's Lisa, and I am the Smart Happy Project. And this is a short introduction in how to see numbers in nature. So, when we talk about numbers in nature, what exactly is it that we're looking for? Are we looking for the digits hanging on the tree? Because sometimes people do ask me that. What we're looking for is we are looking for symmetries. We're looking for evidence of symmetry in the natural world. Now, there's a lot of this in nature and it can be quite overwhelming. So what we do when we set out on this journey is we try to understand geometric expressions of number, because this helps us to know what to see when we're out in nature. So, but nature's geometric expressions will differ from those kind of number expressions that we're used to. So, what are we used to? We're used to these sort of number expressions that we see in games we use in cards and dice and dominoes, as you can see there. So, these are expressions of those simple numbers that we are very familiar with. We recognize the pattern. We don't count the dots, we recognize the pattern. Nature's expression of number will differ from these. It will always be in a rotational pattern, like a clock face. Okay, I spun it around for you there. So I wanted to show this as an example that we're all very familiar with. Those lines that mark the hour times, the hour markers, they are all arranged in a rotational arrangement around the center point. So this is how nature always arranges its symmetry, if you like. This is the style that we're looking for. So this is an example of 3 dots which are arranged around a center point. So that's an expression of the number 3. And you can, to our eye, we kind of make it up. It's a sort of triangle expression because it's got three dots. So this is dealing with the fundamentals of geometry, which are points, as we see there, planes, as we see there. So these are 3 planes arranged in a rotational arrangement, and then 3 lines arranged in a rotational arrangement to each other. And we see that one on the end, obviously, as a triangle because the lines all meet up. So this is a very simple example, but what I wanted to show you here is that these are the expressions that we familiarize ourselves with first before we go outside. So now these are examples of specimens that were displaying arrangements as we saw there. So on the left there, that's a type of oxalis, and it's got 3 leaves. And they're actually triangle leaves as well. So it's exactly as we saw in our expression earlier on. And on the right there, that's a trillium, appropriately named because it has 3 petals. And they're all arranged in a rotational arrangement out from the center. So this is very, very beginning of looking for numbers in nature. And each number will have its own geometric expression. So that expression of 3 differs from the expression of 5 or 4 or 6, etc. So once we understand all those geometric expressions, actually no, we can do this before. Actually, once we understand the first simple ones, then we go outside and we start to look for them. So where do we look? Nature is abundant everywhere, and there's quite a lot of it. So I've tried to break it down into 3 areas that we can start to look for. So the first one is decoration. Okay, there are quite a few specimens where we see patterns and leaf markings, tree bark patterns, those kind of things. We can start to see our geometries in these sort of situations. So this is angle shade moth, and you can see it's got triangle markings on its leaf. So that's the area of decoration, or it might be markings on petals, things like that, or butterfly wings. Structure, this is the second area. So that photograph there on the left is a cross section through the stalk of a 3-cornered leaf, 3-cornered leek, which is like a garlic sort of, allium that you find on the roadside. The stem of the plant is actually a column which is triangular in shape. So that's an example of structure. And then the last area to look in is we simply count the geometry. We count the petals as we did before. So this is a clover, which has 3 green, nicely sort of rounded petals there, leaves there. And actually this overlaps with the decoration area because you can see the markings on the leaves there, little white corners, which sort of join up to make a triangle to our eye. So that's always, it's really easy to see this one. It's a lovely specimen there. So that's where we look, and we looked at how to look, about understanding the geometries. And so why do we look for numbers in nature, which is sometimes I'm asked quite a lot. But before I get into that, I just wanted to let you know that if you like this kind of content, then I've got a whole course that I've put together on each number geometry and concrete examples of where you can see them. And it all comes together with activities that you can do with your young people, as a family together, to get outside and to see these. So I wanted to let you know about that. Check out the link below. I'd love to see you in there. So why do we look for numbers in nature? That's what I was talking about, wasn't it? So firstly, we build our observation skills. Through doing this, we're building our observation skills, and it's depth of field observation. It's not just looking at a screen. We're getting outside and we're analysing what we're seeing. So we're building those observation skills. And in doing so, we're building our connection to the natural world. And for the good few years now, we've all coming to understand the benefits, the well-being that can contribute to for us. And another reason is it encourages us to think outside the box, to sort of have flexible thought patterns. And I'm a strong believer that as we move into an increasingly digital world, it's important the world's changing so fast. It's important for us not to get too rigid and caught in our ways of thinking, because we need to adapt. We need to adapt really quickly. And being able to be flexible in learning to have flexibility in our thinking through looking at shapes in nature I think is a really valuable skill. And so nature models this for us. So we can see one symmetry in a plant, and during the life cycle of that plant, it will change into a different symmetry and then change back again. So it's modeled for us in nature, this kind of flexibility that we can shift from one to the other. And I think that's all really important for us. And another reason is that it nurtures our scientific sort of methodologies. So this is looking at specimens, examining it, analysing what we see, and coming to understand that. These are all methodologies that are used in scientific professions. So we're building these skills in our young people if we do this. So I wanted to share that with you as quickly as I could. I probably talked a bit too fast. And like I said, if you like this content, I'd really like to meet you in the course. It's a video course sent to you with all the activities that you need, and it covers all the numbers 1 to 12, lots of concrete examples and how to look at the geometries. So thank you very much. I'm Lisa, and I'm the Smart Happy Project, and thank you for watching.